All right. Today we're going to be talking about partial fraction decomposition. Let's look at this warm-up first. Okay, what's the first thing I need to do? Find the least common denominator. Because they have nothing in common, I'm going to use both. So I am going to have x minus 1 times x plus 2. And then I'm going to have x minus 1 times x plus 2. Looking at the first fraction, what is it missing in its denominator? So I'm going to do 1 times x plus 2. Looking at the second one, it is missing. Excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute, and I get x plus 2 plus 2x minus 2 all over x minus 1 times x plus 2. When I go to simplify, what do you know? The 2's cancel, and it leaves me with 3x over x minus 1, x plus 2. Good? Okay. Today's topic is the last topic that is covered on your RQA. 7. Okay. Partial fraction decomposition. I want you to think about working backwards. I've given you the answer. You need to tell me the problem that makes that answer. So in this case, I would have given you 3x over x minus 1, x plus 2, and asked what are the two pieces that make it. That's what partial fraction decomposition is. Okay? So let's walk through the steps. So this is the final answer, and I am looking for two fractions that will give me this answer. So step 1 is you need to factor the bottom. So copy down the problem, copy down the step, factor the bottom, and go ahead and do that step. No, there's only one that works. Well, technically, you could say 2 because you could flip-flop the order, but there's only one that will work if you ignore the order. Okay, so what did you factor the bottom to be? X minus 2 and x plus 1. Everyone good with that? Okay. Step 2. Write one partial fraction for each of those factors. So I'm going to do a over, let me go back and check. We had x minus 2. Okay, a over x minus 2 plus b over x plus 1. So step 2 is to create two fractions using the two pieces that made the denominator, the two factors that made the denominator. All right, step 3. All right, so now what we're going to do is we had 5x minus 4 over x minus 2 x plus 1 equals a over x minus 2 plus b over x plus 1. Okay? Everyone good? Thinking back to the warm-up, ignore this side over here for right now. How would I add these two fractions? I need the common denominator. Okay, so that is going to look like this. I'm going to have 5x minus 4 over x minus 2 x plus 1 equals x minus 2 x plus 1. A is missing what part? X plus 1 plus b over x minus 2 x plus 1. What is b missing? X minus 2. Okay? Good so far? Okay, something that I hadn't shown you previously is that if all the denominators match, boom, they can cancel out. okay? And because all the denominators match, I can cancel them. So that leaves me with 5x minus 4 equals a times x plus 1 plus b times x minus 2. On to step 4. Okay, now we're going to find the constants using zeros. So when we last left, we had 5x minus 4 equals a times x plus 1 plus b times x minus 2. All right, I need to create zeros. I'm going to start with this first 0 right here. Okay, what would make this 0? -1. So I am going to use x equals -1 because that would make this 0 through the whole problem. So 5 times -1 because I see an x minus 4 equals a times -1 plus 1 plus b times -1 minus 2. All I did was replace all my x's with -1. And I'm going to simplify now. Because I look at the first parenthesis, and what makes that a 0? What would turn this into a 0? No, if I do positive 1, if I did positive 1, that would make this 2. If I do -1, -1 plus 1 is 0. Okay? All right, continuing on. Okay, what makes this 0? What would make this parenthesis here 0? What's -1 plus 1? 0. Another way to think of it is x plus 1 equals 0. -1 minus 1, x equals -1. You're using the zeros. Okay? All right. So if this had been in the denominator and I was trying to find the vertical asymptote, I set it equal to 0 and solve, right? Same concept. Now I'm left with -5 minus 4 equals 0 because this is 0. 0 times a is 0 plus -3b because -1 minus 2 is -3. -3 times b is -3b. What is -1 plus 1? What is -1 plus 1? 0. What is 0 times a? 0. That's why it's gone. Okay? Now I'm left with -9 equals -3b. Therefore, b equals what? 3. b equals 3. Now we're going to do the same to solve for a. We're going to do the same exact procedure, okay? So what would make this right here 0 if x was what? 2. So I'm going to go back and using the equation 5x minus 4 equals, you don't have to recopy, I'm just doing it so we have it here, a times x plus 1 plus b times x minus 2. And this go round, I'm going to use x equals 2 because if I plug in 2 right here, it makes 0. So 5 times 2 minus 4 equals a times 2 plus 1 plus b times 2 minus 2. That gives me 10 minus 4 equals 3a and plus 0 because 0 times b is 0. So 6 equals 3a, making a what value? 2. When I plug into b, that gets rid of b because I made it 0. And so that leaves a. All right, now all we need to do is write the final answer. Okay, so we are going to go back a screen. Remember that a is 2 and b was 3. I'm going to go right here. Right here. And I'm not going to write A, I'm going to write 2. And I'm not going to write B, I'm going to write 3. And I'm okay if on your tests or quizzes you do it just like this. You cross it out and replace it with this number. That is my final answer. Problem done. You don't have to rewrite it again, no. You can go back to the top of your page and cross out A, write it in, cross out B, write it in. The denominator will always factor. Okay? All right, so good. So this that I put a square around in this teal light blue color, this would be my final answer. So somebody asked before, is there one answer? Yes. The 2 has to be with the x minus 2. The 3 has to be x plus 1. If it had said 3 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x minus 2, you'd still be correct. So there's technically 2 answers, but they're not completely different. It would not be. It wouldn't work. Mathematically, it wouldn't work. You can go back and now do the math like we did in the warm-up. You can do the math for this that we did in the warm-up, and you should get this as your final answer. To double check your work to make sure you got it right. I don't think I've ever shared this with you guys, but math is unique that you can always work backwards and check your answer before you turn a quiz in and see that did it work. That's the cool thing about math. All right, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and try this one here. Okay, here we go. As I was saying, there are some where the denominators are cubed, a higher power. We will only be going as far as squared. If there was a cubed, it would be an a plus a b plus a c. Okay. I'm going to break up the denominator. I got x plus 2, x minus 1 as my denominator. Agree or disagree? Agree? Okay. Equals a over x plus 2 plus b over x minus 1. Good so far? Just from the order here, you could have had, listen, if you have a over x minus 1 and b over x plus 2, it's good. Just what's important is when we get to the final answer. All right, so next, I have 3x equals a times x minus 1 plus b times x plus 2. When I go and do the common denominators, right? Are we okay? Everyone good with that? All right. So now I'm going to do x equals 1. So 3 times 1 equals goodbye. And then b times 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 equals 3b. B equals 1. Happy? So there needs to be, listen, shh. Wherever you have x minus 1, whether it's a or it's b, the 1 needs to be above the x minus 1. The 1 needs to be with the x minus 1. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to do, what would make this a 0? Negative 2. So 3 times negative 2 equals negative 3a. And this guy is bye-bye this time. Negative 6 equals negative 3a. Therefore, a equals positive 2. So 2 needs to be above x plus 2. So let me clarify. You either have 1 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x minus 2, or You have 2 over x minus 2 plus 1 over x plus 1. You have one of these two answers. Oh, minus, plus, sorry. Okay, now are we good? I mixed up my signs. Good? Feeling a little bit better? Better. Okay. All right. Tackle this one for me. Here is my hint on this one. Denominator. You're going to want to use GCF. All right, help me out. Let's factor this denominator. So we have 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 2x equals a over GCF is x minus 2. So over x plus b over x minus 2. Come back, x minus 2, x, goodbye. Okay? What makes this right here make a value of 0? 2. 3 times 2 minus 4 equals a times 0 plus b times 2. 6 minus 4 equals 2b. 2 equals 2b, therefore b equals 1. Now, okay, this next one was tricky for some of you. You didn't know what to put in here. Well, set the factor equal to 0. Oh, what's the answer? 0. So I'm going to do 3 times 0 minus 4 equals a times 0 minus 2, and the b is obsolete. So 3 times 0 cancels. Negative 4 equals negative 2a. Therefore, a equals 2. So your final answer should be 2 over x and 1 over x minus 2. The 2 should be with the x. The 1 should be with the x minus 2. A okay? Yeah, it's times that number. Whoa. This one shouldn't have been a parenthesis, sorry. Cool? Because it's 3 times x. It's 3x. I turned this into 0. And so then, all right. There you go. Try that one, my lovelies. All right. So you should have had 5. Ooh, it helps if I'm off the eraser. You should have had 5x minus 1 over x minus 5x plus 3. Again, the order doesn't matter. Equals a times, thank you for being so fast, over x minus 5 plus b over x plus 3. Okay, how do I fix it? What does this get? X plus 3. Again, it could be opposite on your paper, x minus 5. Get rid of the bottom. So, in order to make this right here 0, what do I use? Negative 3. So 5 times negative 3 minus 1 equals 0 plus b times negative 3 minus 5. Correct? Okay? So negative 16, because 5 times negative 3 is negative 15 minus 1 is negative 16, equals negative 8b. b equals 2. Lovely. I wrote too big that time, so let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, what makes this 0? 5. So 5 times 5 minus 1 equals a times 5 plus 3. I don't care about that because it's going to be a 0. So 25 minus 1 is 24 equals 8a. A equals 3. So 3 needs to be with the x minus 5, and 2 needs to be with the x plus 3. It matters that 3 is with the x minus 5. But which one you list first does not matter. You could have said 2 over x plus 3 plus 3 over x minus 5. Okay, cool? All right. Oh, okay. You got, say it again. Okay, that's fine. B equals 3. Is the 3 with x minus 5 on your paper? When you write your final answer, it should be 3 over x minus 5 plus 2 over x plus 3. Or 2 over x plus 3 plus 3 over x minus 5. Okay? All right, that is all of the practice. I'm going to give you your homework problems.